Don't you know that from coast to coast, where there's dope, there's hope, where there's dope, there's hope. Sheesh. Wait, is it lit? Don't.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Cats, dogs, birds, and squirrels.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna need some more energy than that, Peasy. What's going on? What's popping? We out here, what?
All
You know what I'm saying?
right.
This is the
Cats,
Herbal Tea
dogs,
Podcast.
birds, and squirrels.
Yes, let them know. This is the Herbal Tea Podcast, episode motherfucking 10. We out here. It's your boy EarthTone.
And it's your man, Peasy Peas.
Yeah, man. And we gonna just get right into it, man. Everybody know what's going on out there. It's a little crazy. 2020 has been wild for the night. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody for a loop, huh?
Yeah, but we still out here. We still getting it. So we just gonna get right to it. There's a lot going on in this music scene.
But wait a minute.
What happened?
We're not gonna celebrate. This is our 10th episode.
I mean,
kind of a
the big
milestone,
10,
a
the
little
big
bit.
one. No, it's a baby
You know what I'm
milestone. It's a baby step. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing it for a minute.
Celebrating all our wins this year because we don't know how many we're gonna have.
We're officially podcasters by this point. I would say so. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we could definitely add that slash podcaster to the repertoire. But yeah,
Sure.
man, congratulations, Peasy, man. I appreciate you taking this journey with the kid, man. It's been a hell of a ride so far. It's been fun. It's been about a year. It's only been 10 episodes, but we've been working on this since pretty much last, like, late spring, early summer. So it's been a long journey. You know what I mean? We had to put in some work to bring it together, but it was dope.
I appreciate what you said on the gram. I have not had a chance to respond, but I did see it, and I love what you said, and I really, really appreciate you even inviting me on this, because niggas like us got a lot to say, and we need to have our own platforms anyway. So this is a win, and I'm really, really, I'm really, really proud that you made me part of this.
Of course, man. We out here. It's only right. You know what I'm saying? And hey, you earned the slot, and we gonna get right into this shit, show y'all why it's so special and why we do what we do. Again, as last episode, we don't have an ally of the day today. So we're gonna hit y'all with 4 Q+ artists. Only because we don't want to be seeming like we kind of thirsting for allies. Like, ally is not a thing that we're kind of just pinning on people.
No.
If you're an ally, then you have to have done something to be an ally. And there's nothing wrong if you're not an ally. It's cool. We just saying don't be an enemy. But we want to big up the people that do that thing and really go out of their way to show that they're ally of the Q+ community. So unfortunately, we don't have one that's putting out music because it's kind of slow out there for the industry, and it's understandable. It's hard to promote music the way they really need to. But it's still artists out here getting it, and it's a lot of Q+ artists is getting it. So we're gonna get into the first one, and I'm gonna let Peasy do the honors.
You know what I'm saying? Don't start, no smoke, won't be no smoke.
Yeah, let them know.
All right. So bringing to the stage our first artist of the day. Is gonna be Isaac Dunbar.
Hey,
Isaac Dunbar. Have you heard of Isaac Dunbar before the show?
Never heard of the kid.
Yeah, the kid is pretty new. He's a pretty fresh face.
How did we find him? How did you hear of him? Because I think you put me on.
Yeah. Right? I actually don't even know how I found him. I think I forgot. Like,
that's how it be. We smoke too much.
We do.
420 was not too long ago. Like,
it was not that long ago, and I think that's when we did our meeting. But he just happened to come across my radar.
I'm glad he did.
Whatnot. And so here he is. This is a 17-year-old alternative pop upstart from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. He's biracial, born to a Liberian father and an Italian mother. Consummate Lady Gaga fan. Loves Lady Gaga. That is one thing that is very apparent about his music. He learned to produce imitating the styles of the producer for Art Pop, which was Lady Gaga's third album. As you got to understand, this kid is 17 years old. Art Pop came out in 2013.
17.
So yeah. So
young.
Take that into perspective. Art Pop came out 7 years ago, so he was basically a baby. You know what I'm saying?
What you doing trying to learn production and like studying producers?
These kids is coming up. They coming up fast. This coming up fast. So he drew a wide audience, having songs featured on blogs like Fader and Complex. Zane Lowe's radio interview played one of his records, and he quickly signed to RCA Records in late 2019, where he is now issuing his debut EP, Isaacs and Sex. All right. Fun fact.
No, I actually heard that when he was when Zane Lowe was premiering his single, he was still in school. Like, he was in class. Like, I saw an interview, like he was in homeroom and like tapping the homies, like, fam, like Zane Lowe playing my shit. Like, I couldn't imagine being in high school and like,
oh my God,
Hot 97 playing my shit on the radio, like on somebody, like,
could you imagine
some shit? Like, yo, that's crazy.
Niggas would not be able to talk to me.
No,
nobody
like,
would be
what?
talking to me.
I'm
like,
leaving
what?
class right there. Like,
right. You good.
Yeah.
Stop playing. But fun fact, he had an actual insect infestation in the same room he grew up in and where he began writing songs.
Word.
And that fear became the inspiration for his project.
Get out of here.
Insects.
That's wild.
And so he turned that fear into something that, well, the fear that he dealt with in his albums, the different types of fears came from homophobia and mental health and relationship issues. So those are really scary things to kind of channel your fear, you know, when you go through something like that. It could be traumatic. So, you know what I'm saying? He turned that into this project before us. Came out April 9th, 2020.
Life. That's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. And it, of course, well, unfortunately, it's out. You know, he's releasing this album right at the start or like in the middle of the pandemic.
Right,
so,
in the heat of it.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? That's where he at. And that's what we got in front of us. I'm going to go ahead and just say it.
Oh, shit. Let me hear this. What you got? What you got? Let me see, man. What's up, man?
I'm going to just say, this album is a mid for me.
Oh, shit.
43%. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to break this down for y'all.
Yes, go in.
Break this down. Like, okay, my favorite song from it is Suicide. I like songs. I like those kind of drifty, ballady songs. Don't have a beat. And it gives you a chance to really emote and connect with the record. And I felt like that was the record I connected with most. And it was the most emotionally raw for me. And that's why I connected the most with it. You have other songs like Boy, which is kind of like more of an alternative rock, kind of a slower bop kind of feel. His voice reminds me of another Q+ artist, Perfume Genius, in the sense that they have kind of this falsetto-y high voice.
Very interesting.
And I kind of drew a little bit of a connection. Perfume Genius is also a self-produced artist. So to kind of see the connection, the only difference is his production is very, you know, poppy, because that's kind of where that's kind of his influence. But the thing about pop music, the trick is to like find your sound to make you distinctive and also make it connect with a whole lot of people. I think he's still finding his pop sound in a lot of ways, because there's not a whole lot of distinction with the music that he has on the EP. A lot of it reminds me of art pop from Lady Gaga's album, just the synths they use, the layers, and the way the production's done. So it really didn't give me anything more than just a young pop act, you know, basically trying to pop off. Now, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and shit on it like that, because Comme des Garçons, hey, you was just about to sing the song. I thought it was a pretty dope record, but I just didn't think, as far as like the songwriting and the melody, like he can write songs. He could write songs too, so he could write melodies. It's really got really good elements there. So I fuck with that. And I also saw all of his music videos. Like, I got into this kid. He's got 3 music videos. There's only 7 songs on the record. He's got 3 music videos for it. And they all kind of have their different feels. He's got a a video for the title track, Isaac's Insects. That's probably the most compelling one because, you know, just the way it looks and the way it's filmed, it looks like it's trying to be like an older movie type situation, the kind of cinematic. And then you got Makeup Drawer, which is kind of his coming out song. You know, if you can understand, like he was also dealing with, you know, a little bit of homophobia and kind of fear of coming out. So that was his song to kind of signal that. He did a video for that. And he also
wait, you gave it a mid. What was your favorite you said?
My favorite was Suicide.
Okay.
So yeah, but that I could go on and on about.
I see you going on and on. That's what I'm trying to wrap you up. Like you only supposed to hit a couple songs. Like,
I know. You're right. My bad. I'm gonna let you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna let you finish
like,
though.
All right.
I'm gonna let you finish. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
I'm gonna let you finish. Beyonce.
But what you got to say? What you got to say about this young boy?
No. I mean, I hear you. But I'm on the opposite spectrum with this one, man. We're gonna have to call the fire trucks out here, man. NYPD. I hope they got their PPE. I hope they COVID ready because they got work to do, man. We got a fire on our hands. It's out here.
Got a fire.
You sleeping on this young boy. We got Isaac Dunbar. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Yo,
break it down for a player.
Seven joints, right?
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with each and every one of them for a different reason. All 7 songs, straight shots, no filler.
Mm-hmm.
The joint you talk about, Suicide, is crazy. Like I fuck with that joint. It's like the way he talks about it is different. He's kind of talking about it from an aspect of he's talking about somebody who's thinking about it, talking to somebody who's thinking about doing it from the perspective of somebody who already attempted it himself. And it's like, nah, you don't even want to like, let me like listen to somebody who already, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of, come on, this kid is 17 years old. Like, that's just one. That's just heavy. The production is crazy.
That is.
He does all his own production, first of all. And he does sound design. Like, he's heavy. He's like a sound geek. So he's into synths and creating his own shit and building his own sound. So, I mean, that's going to give him his own sound right there. Like it's gonna have a lot of influence because he was heavy influenced by the producers of Lady Gaga, but that's how you start. That's what you do. We all imitate until we figure out our own, and he has plenty of time to fall into his own sound, but for right now, when I found out, I listened to the whole project before I even knew he produced his own shit, and then when I found out after that, I had to go back and change my rating because I'm like, hold up. Like, come on, like, stop. We rewarding that. That's what we do out here. And then you got the joint Makeup Drawer. Like, come on, like, we're not about to breeze by that. So he's talking about, he's pretty much talking to his man, like his partner, and like he's so insecure with his shit and the way he look. He's just like, damn, like you don't even got to put on nothing and you look crazy. But like, I could be hot under here, but you wouldn't even know because the amount of shit that I do and put on and cover up with, it's like, you don't even know what I really look like. Like, and the way he puts it is simplistic, but you can get all of that. He like, I could be hotter beneath, but you wouldn't even know the shit that I've been through. Like he talking about putting on makeup. He's like, I love your love foundation. Where did you get it? Like, hold up. That's a hot little metaphor right there when you really dig in and break it down. And then like he giving you those throughout the whole song. The production on there was crazy. And then we got Boy, which gave me like a Future Sex love sound. Like it sounded like he got that from like Timbaland Archive. Like when Timbaland was producing that album, this was one of the joints that didn't make the cut, but then it slipped and he got his hands on it and he, you know, brushed the dust off and then went in.
Wow, you giving it all of that?
Come on. God. I went in depth. I listened. He got a line on there where he's like, first of all, he's talking about he hungry for his boy. He already telling you where he at. He's telling you what bag he in. And he's still giving you his pop emo. And I think pop is kind of a mislabel for him. I think he like a fake pop. He ain't really pop. He got a pop sound, but he on his emo, punk, grunge, singer-songwriter shit. He just got a soft, refined voice, and he over these poppy melodies. But this shit ain't really pop. Like, he on his emo shit. Like, if you listen to the lyrics,
dark. He gets real deep.
He got a song called Suicide. Like,
I give him his pen. I gave him his pen.
He's not pop. Look, he said, just soft-spoken tongue can sweet talk me into crime. Like, what? What 17-year-old you know writing lines like that?
I gave him his pen, though.
Stop it, man. He gave me 7 joints, and I ain't even gonna keep going, but he gave me 7 joints that could just, you know what I'm saying? They all 7. Like, if he would have if this was like a 12-track joint, it might have been a different grade, but he just he got straight to the shits. Each song is different. Each song has its own, like, concept and melody. Then the Colony joint, the ballad at the end.
Yeah.
What? Yo, you sleeping on this young boy, man. I don't know. And then he got Skreetz Creek.
That was the last video that he did.
That is fire, fam. I listened to that song a lot of times because, first of all, it gave me. So if you watch TV back in the days, you know Dawson's Creek.
Right.
It gave me that whole storyline because you know how, like, the girl was into the boy that wasn't really into her, but they kind of dated for a bit, but then she realized, like, he wasn't really in love with her. It was kind of just that high school shit. He kind of weaves that story into this song. The song builds up sonically. It starts slow and then it keeps adding parts and then it builds and builds. It's only like 2 minutes, but then he's talking about like he builds up to the point where he talks about when they first got together, the spark first happened, and then he talks about when the spark kind of left, it fizzled out, and he like, damn, I don't want to say goodbye, but I have a feeling that you love somebody else. It's just like I don't know, his pen is different for a 17-year-old. Like, I gave him this rating because he produces his own shit, he writes his own shit. The thoughtfulness of the concepts are crazy beyond his years. And he only gave me 7 joints, which I love. Like, don't give me no crazy shit, because you still a new artist. Like, we don't need a full-length album from you. Like, let me, you know what I'm saying? He just giving you a taste, and he gave you a healthy dose. And like, look, I'm here. Respect my pen. I'm not playing. And he giving it to you raw. Like, he leaning into that Q plus content. Like, he leaning into it. Like, you gonna know, like, what's going on. And I respect it, man. Shout out to Isaac.
Before we move on from him, and I didn't know you was gonna go in about Smokin Creek. You should definitely check out the video because you said Dawson's Creek.
I didn't even see the video, and I didn't even see the video.
The video looks like Dawson's Creek.
I didn't even see it, and that's what I'm saying. And I drew all of that from this pen, from a pen.
He drew the picture for you, and he already connected it visually because I know he has a lot to do with how he is visually.
He's very hands-on with it.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody check out all his videos. Check out his album.
Hey, man, Isaac Dunbar. We got a mid. What did you give it a mid? What percentage?
43%.
Mid 43%. I gave it a fire 82. That's a big gap right there. Hey, what do y'all think? Herbal Tea fans, go check it out, please. Isaac Dunbar. Yeah, Isaac's Insects. Go check that shit out. Stream it. Go check out the videos. And let us know what you think, man. Hit us up in the comments. And, do y'all agree with me or do y'all agree with Peasy? Or do y'all disagree with both of us? Y'all could probably think of some dirt or some shit. I don't know. But let us know, man. We're going to move on to the next one. Who do we got next on the docket, man? This is fun. This is a good one, man. We got a good one today. All right. We got one? We got one of the homies, man.
Mm-hmm.
The kid, King Most. Mm-hmm. Shout out to King Most.
Shout out to
Jersey represented.
Yeah, of course.
You already know how I go in Jersey in the building. Come on, man. Like, it's Jersey. Like, what up? What up? We out here. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's born in North New Jersey. Q plus rapper representing. He's been doing music for about 4 years. 4+ years, I would say. So not that long, but he's no rookie. He's released a few mixtapes, a few projects throughout the years. I think his last full length was Almost There, which came out in 2019, I want to say, or 18. 2017. He's been around for a little bit. We definitely bumped into him at a couple shows. I know we shared the stage at least once at a show. I can't remember exactly when. We've done mad shows throughout the fucking year. But I know I definitely met him and we've done a show. We actually got a joint in a tuck. Talk about a fun fact. We got a joint in a tuck that we laid down last fall. I don't know when it's dropping, what he doing with it, but I think he's working on a new project. And I think that this joint that we about to review is coming off of that. And I believe that the joint we got is coming up and it's gonna be on that, which is kind of dope. But yeah, shout out to the Most. Last May he put out a video for the joint Coming For You, which was kind of different. I was like, okay, he was out here. He had the hoodie out. He had the goons out, and then he had the joint, the joint with the fatty fat, the yammy yams. Talk about the yammy yams. She had the little one piece on with the motorcycle helmet on. I was like, okay, Most. This how we giving it up. But it was dope. He was giving a thematic look to the whole video. I thought that was dope. And then he put out the Formula not too long ago, featuring, I forgot the art, I.K.P, featuring another artist. But shout out to the Most. You know the Most. You familiar?
I do know the Most.
He used to go by the Most, and then he switched his name to King Most.
King Most.
So he had who recently did that? Crooked Eye. Crooked Eye went from Crooked Eye to King Crooked.
King Crooked.
Yeah, had the name change.
Fun fact. I hit up the young boy, and I saw the Coming For You video, and I was I liked the video for what it was. Yes. But he had a couple of llamas on there, and I wanted to know the real.
That's what I was like. Hold up, there was a lot going on.
So I wanted to know. I asked him, "Yo, was those real? Was the legit pistols going on there?" He's like, "Nah, those is like." That's part of the production magic. The director said he got some water guns and kind of painted them black. I was like, all right. Gotcha. I wasn't going to judge him on that, but I just wanted to know for myself.
Yeah, he kept
it because I really love. But I like what the video.
The aesthetic. It was a nice look. It was dope. Yeah,
everything went. It wasn't. He wasn't reaching. It wasn't like you know what I'm saying. He had the chick out there bopping, doing her thing. She was ready to snap on him in a minute.
It looked like some North shit though. Like you know what I mean, like.
And right, I don't know how y'all get down in y'all Jersey, Brick City.
Like some, you know what I'm saying. So it was. He was out there. He was in the streets. He was in the.
That is definitely not Jersey Shore situations. Definitely not.
Yeah, but he put out Notorious. So this joint actually came out in the heat of the storm as well. March 27th, he put out this single. 2 minutes 49 seconds. All right, man. We're going to get right to the shits.
What's going
Sir
on?
Reginald James is making his first appearance
Whoa!
on the Herbal Tea Podcast.
Not Reggie Miller.
Sir Reggie, man.
Oh,
Sir
man.
Reggie, Reginald James. He came out here. I gave it a Reggie 25%, man. I don't know. This one wasn't hitting it for me. So the beat came on. It opens up. I'm like, it's all right. It's cool. It got a nice little beat. Not crazy. But it's all right. It's rocking. I can hear the bob. I'm like, all right, he about to get on this. He about to go in. And Most, he a spitter. He raps. He rap. So I'm ready to hit the bars. So his opening line, he comes in and he's like, don't mention me unless it's B.I.G., P.A.C., Nas, Jay-Z. What? I was like, okay. So your opening line is the Mount Rushmore of hip hop. You saying like, listen, don't even talk to me. Don't even mention my name unless you're talking about Deez. Like, I'm like, all right, you putting a lot of pressure on yourself. That's a lot of pressure. And then I listened to the next few bars and the rest of the verse, and I'm like, you ain't really proving it, my G. Like, you can't start off like that. Get me hype. I'm like, ooh, like, okay. And then it's like, I mean, all right, like I heard you, but I don't really hear you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I heard him get off before. It was just like, you can't say that and then not give me your hardest bars ever. Like, I'm just like, that's just how I am. Like, I can't do it. And then it comes to the hook. And the hook is like, he got the Notorious. He got that in the alley, which was cool. It's catchy. Notorious, fun fact, that's like one of my least favorite Biggie songs ever. Like, I always hated that song for some reason. I don't know why. And people kill me for that. Like, people love that song. I always hated that song. I don't know why. But I like the way he used it in the song, like the hook, like the Notorious. It was dope because it's a totally different beat. But that's all the hook is. And then he ain't saying nothing for the hook. And then it's a 16-bar loop for the hook. I'm like, yo, that's too much space for you to not actually have a hook and it just be like, Notorious. You know what I'm saying? For the whole shit. It was a long hook. And then the second verse came in. I'm like, all right, we about to get to it. Let me get some, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, I didn't really get no lines I could pick out and be like, all right, that was like, you know what I'm saying? It was a couple of flips in there, but it wasn't nothing that gave me like Nas, Jay-Z. Like that whole line just kind of, I feel like it set him up for failure. Like he set himself up. Like if you ain't gonna give me your illest 16 after that line, I don't even really want to hear what else you're saying after that. It's like you can't. That's kind of like a false setup for me. But I mean the hook and the beat, he gave me that gun clap, which almost reminded me. You remember Thug Love with Bone Thugs and Tupac? That. Doom, doom. It gave me a little reminiscent of that, and I'm like, damn, like he kind of had certain elements where it took it there. He started off like super, super strong, and then was like, I don't know. It kind of left a bad taste in my mouth for the rest of the song because it ain't live up to such a hard bar. Like that's a hard opening bar. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm expecting you to come crazy with it after that, and he didn't really give it to me. So that's where we got the Reggie from. So I gave it a Reginald James 25%. Where you at with it? What do you think? What do you think? I'm just giving it up, man. We giving it up. 2020, man. People is putting out music. It's so good. And shout out to Most. You know what I'm saying? And I heard all of his music. That's what I'm saying. Like I know he got better bars than that. That's why I was like, you can't hit me with that line and then not give me your best bars. Like I needed them. And nah, he ain't follow up. And then the beat wasn't ill enough to carry the song. You ain't really have a hook. It was just like, nah, he ain't really give it to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So just like Jersey, just because you got the Jersey stamp, don't mean
man,
you gonna give it up.
You probably gonna get it harder because you from Jersey. Like you home team, you gotta represent out here. Like when
gotta represent.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you gonna get the real. Because I want to hear that next single, and I wanted to be like, okay, yeah, there it go. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Well, I gave it a 58 mid for a lot of the same reasons that you did, that you said.
Okay.
You kind of gave it, you already gave it the rundown. I thought the quotable, niggas so whack they don't even write their own mumbles. I thought that was clever. I thought it was cute. Not that clever, but cute. You know what I'm saying? But the way he just delivered it, the way he came off with it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you might not have the best lines, but it's the way you say it. I give you points for your delivery. So I like people that could sell that shit. There be people out there, be songs out there, they're not rhyming, they're just ABCing it, but it's the way they fucking said it. It hit different. And that's what I like.
That's
so
a
he
big
gave
part.
me a little bit of that. The track is probably the hardest thing on the whole, the instrumental. But you're right, he's not really giving you too much as far as the bars is concerned. But that's why I gave it a mid, because the track is hard. Still bop it, but you ain't gonna get too much from it.
Yeah. All right, well, man, hey, there you have it. You got a Reginald James 25%, and you got a mid 58. Shout out to King Most, man. I'm looking forward to this project he got coming out. I'm not sure what the name of the project is.
It's actually called Mostorious.
Oh, Mostorious.
Most with an M. He named the single with an N, and then the Most.
Got you. He out here. Okay. So Mostorious coming soon. We're looking forward to that. In the meantime, go check out Notorious, streaming on all platforms, man, and let us know what you think. King Most out here, shout out, man. Jerry's representing.
Shout outs.
All right, so who we got next? We're gonna keep it moving.
We're gonna keep it moving. The next person we got, Robbie Rockington.
Oh, okay.
Robbie Rockington.
What up, Rob?
This is another kind of a Jersey native. He lives in the Bronx, but he's from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Oh shit, I did not know that. Okay, Jersey. Come on, man. Like, what up, right. Jersey? What up?
All right. You getting your shit led later, okay? With your Jersey.
Jersey, what up, man?
Jersey, what up? He released his debut EP, The Asylum: Confessions of a Stoner, in 2016. He's the rapper, singer, songwriter. And fun fact, he did a 3-part interview on a video blog show. The video blog show is called Keeping It G with Cutie. I found the interview. They're friends, so this is why they're going on for that long.
Gotcha.
But
I was about to say 3-part. Like, damn.
3-part. I was because I didn't have a lot of information on Robbie Rockington until he sent us his bio or whatnot. So I wanted to see what was out there, and I wanted to see what he had. Like, 3-part interview. I'm just going to say it wasn't a whole lot in there. He talked about his songs for a couple minutes, but a lot of it was, best friends talking, bantering, chilling. You know what I'm saying? But it's out there.
Did you get any juice? Any juicy details? Any fun fact?
The only juicy detail that I got is that he's taken. Like, he's not. Okay. He's in a relationship right now. He's in a committed relationship.
Shout out to that.
But yeah, he went into a little bit of his music, which we're going to review right now. He's got a single, Rooftop Flows Freestyle, and it's the B-side to his...
To the A-side?
To the previous single, which is 2020. Yeah, okay. So he kind of did a pair of a single situation, and, Rooftop Flows is the freestyle.
Okay, that's kind of a trend on the show today, huh?
Yeah, it is, okay. Right? So doing that.
See how we moving.
We'll see. Counts influences: Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, Biggie, Michael Jackson, and just straight into the song. I gave it a 62 loud.
Ooh.
I gave it a loud because I like the subject matter of what he's talking about. I mean, I'm into dark shit. Like, this song kind of gives you, like, somebody who's talking to somebody who's about to commit suicide. That could be an interpretation of it. But really, the way he explained it is that he juxtaposed the idea of being successful on your own, but it coming with a whole lot of, like, reckoning with your conscience. And then you ending up at a moment where you're on a rooftop, and you might be deciding for a second, am I going to jump or am I going to keep going? And if there's anybody out there that's going to talk you out of that situation. So I like the contemplative mood of it. And I guess I kind of deal with that a little bit to an extent, not right now. I'm not chill, but I've gone through moments like that. I really, really fuck with that shit. And it kind of gets to the heart of who a person is to kind of really talk about it, because they have to be coming from a genuine place in order to even bring that shit up, which is why I gave Isaac his props for doing a song like Suicide. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what I liked about this record, though.
Okay. I had a bit of a different opinion. I'm gonna have to bring back out Sir Reginald, man. Like,
oh man, damn.
Reggie Miller for the 3, man. Like, I gave it a Reggie Miller 30%. I like how it starts. It opens up. I like the beat. The beat comes in. It's like it's giving you the vibe, like those mystical ass. It's like dark and misty, but it's still smooth, like some Jhené Aiko type shit. Then I'm like, all right, he about to go off. I love the sound of his voice. He got like a dope rapping tone to his voice.
Got a good rap voice. Yep.
And he starts off and it's like, all right, it's cool. But I kind of felt where he was going. There was hints of it, but I felt like it was like a watered down version. It wasn't as potent as it needed to be to kind of complement the topic, as heavy the topic as he's, trying to get across. I didn't feel like the pen was as strong as the topic, if you could say. And then, like, the more the song got on, the flow kind of seemed like he was losing it a little bit. It seemed like it was off at moments. And I was waiting for them drums to come in. I'm like, all right, when is the song going to finish? Like, it felt like this is like a reference. Like, this was kind of like an idea song. And he was like, all right, putting it down. He was kind of like a stream of consciousness. He's just flowing. It's like, all right, I got an idea for this song. Boom, boom, I'm going to put him down. And it didn't feel like it was finished to me. And then, like, it was a point where drums came in, but they were kind of so low that you can't really hear them. And then I'm like, I think it's done on purpose, but I'm like, yo, I want to hear the drums, because I want to hear, is he off? Is he on? Because it didn't sound like he was riding that piano the way he should have been. So a lot of that was kind of taken away from me even digging into what he was saying. And it was throwing me off. And then when he went into like his singing bag, I was like, oof. That note ain't really carry right. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're going from rapping to singing like that, that's tough. That's a difficult you know what I mean, jump. If that ain't really your bag, if you ain't really like a singer like that, and you going from like spitting some bars and then you trying to go to hit a note or a melody, you gotta hit that, or it's gonna, you know what I mean, kind of come off. And then you ain't got no drums to kind of protect you. It's all vibe, it's all air. So we hearing all of that. Ain't nothing but the voice. The voice is the main instrument at that point. And when he went to the singing, it ain't really, I don't know, it ain't really connect for me like I would have liked it to. Yeah, but so it was kind of, it started off a little strong for me and then it kind of went down. It ain't really bring me back. So I gave it a Reggie 30%.
I thought the singing part was part of the authenticity of it because, you know, this person, I mean, he might be talking about himself. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the moment is raw. You might just be singing something just to kind of like give you a little bit of a different texture. I thought that was, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it was charming, but it was like, it sounded like you said, he was kind of just playing around. Like it was like he was feeling through his emotions. And, you know, sometimes that comes off great, but sometimes that comes off like a demo or a reference that you know what I mean, you could kind of build off of, but it ain't really there for me. But I mean, that's what it gave me, you know what I'm saying? So, but I fucks with him. I've heard other music from him, and he definitely has like a different bag. Like this is I haven't heard him in this bag before. This is like an emo bag, and it's dope. Shout out to him, Robbie Rockington. Go check that shit out. It's streaming on all platforms. It's Rooftop Flows. In parentheses, it says freestyle. But it's streaming on all platforms. So you can go check that shit out. And let us know what you think, man. Peasy gave it a mid. What was it? 52%?
I gave it a loud 62%.
Oh, loud 62%. And I gave it original 30%. So we've been having quite a bit of a gap this
it's dynamic this time.
This episode. I like that,
quite
man.
dynamic.
That's let y'all know, man, music is subjective. It all depends on, you know, the mood you in, your experiences, what you went through. You know what I'm saying? You could connect with a song for a multitude of reasons, and you could not connect with it for the same amount of reasons. So that's how it goes sometimes, man. But we love to dive into this music and get into the minds of these Q+ artists and see what they talking about and see where that paint game at and see where the production at. And, you know, just get into it, man. This shit is fun for us.
I love the fact that this culture is so alive, regardless of what, you know, what we're saying. The fact that y'all putting shit out. And, you know, whether you guys had this in the talk or whether you're throwing it out there now that we have this pandemic situation, keep putting shit out. Like, keep doing it. You know, keep feeding us because we do need it at the end of the day, and we love what everybody's doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Keep it going. And we're going to keep reviewing the shit, man. Like we say, if we ain't see something in these artists, we wouldn't even be putting them on the platform. So shout out to Robbie Rockington. Go check that shit out. It's the Herbal Tea Podcast, man. Who the fuck we got next on the docket?
Who do we have next on the
goddamn docket? This a big one. This a fun one. I feel privileged to be able to introduce this one.
Man.
We got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Frank Frank Ocean, Blinded.
Give
you
it
know
to
what
him.
I'm saying? He out here. Of course, everybody knows who he is. Q+ singer-songwriter from Long Beach, California. He actually was a late bloomer. He didn't necessarily come out when he first stepped onto the scene. I forgot when he actually let it be known that he was Q+. He always, if you go back and listen to some of his stuff, he always kind of dropped hints in his music, but he never, you know, he never really wore it on his sleeve. But, you know, he eventually did and he embraced it.
Official, like during Channel Orange era, because that was a thing.
The
whole him coming out and admitting to his first romance on one of the songs.
But he was known as a ghostwriter prior to joining Our Future. As many people know, he was part of the collective from out there. We always talk about it, how much of a string and connection that Our Future has had to the show so far, from the top 50 Q+ artists to now. But yeah, he was a part of that collective. And he was known as a ghostwriter before then, so he worked with a lot of artists in the industry. You know, before releasing his debut project and his mixtape, Nostalgia Ultra, in 2011, which had the joint Novocaine on it, which everybody know that shit. That's one of my favorite joints from him.
One of my favorite
songs. Oh my god,
man,
it always remind me of the DuckTales theme song, because he took the drums from DuckTales. Like if you take the DuckTales theme song and just take the drums,
wow.
Come on, I think I got something. Now, yeah,
wow,
people don't know that, but
wow.
and they flipped it.
But
That
it's
shit is
kind of
crazy.
jazzy the way that come off.
They freaked it, but it's definitely the DuckTales drums that they stole for that song.
Well, I mean, not for nothing.
I
Theme songs back in the day, like, were bops.
Fam, I have a whole folder of songs from when sampling like DuckTales type shit. Like, that's a vibe. Like, I love it. That's one of the reasons why it's my favorite song. But then eventually he signed the Def Jam off of that project and dropped the debut Channel Orange in 2012. So he was hitting them every year. Like, he had a run. Won 2 Grammys in 2013, one for Best Urban Contemporary Album, and then for Best Rap Sung Solo collaboration with No Church in the Wild with Watch the Throne. So I mean, he has a well-storied discography and history and, you know, resume. He's been out here doing this thing for a minute. He's one of the top young gunners as far as the Q+ artist community goes. He's definitely been out there doing things in a major way. He's been known for pulling a fast one on Apple Music with the way he got out of his deal and released his project, and now he's independent and people's kind of just waiting to see what he got coming next. He's been releasing a few singles here and there, and we got one that we about to review today. What are your thoughts on Sir Ocean? What do you know about Mr. Frank?
I want to wait until we get into the music part.
Oh, you want to do the music first?
I want to hear what you got to say.
You want to hear what I got to say? Because I've been on a tear today, so I'm like, letting people have it. I'm ripping out new assholes. All right, so we got this joint, Dear April, that he released. In parentheses, as we said, it's a side A, acoustic. He dropped this one on April 3rd. It's 3 minutes, 51 seconds. This is his latest release. We haven't really heard from him in a while, like since Blonded. And he's been releasing little singles here and there. And this is another one. And I'm guessing it's like a 2-pack. It is a 2-pack. I forgot the name of the other song, but we decided to review this one.
Right.
And I gave it a mid, 32%, man. Magic Johnson, 32 on him.
Oh,
32% mid.
Oh,
yeah. What would you sound like you was expecting something? You wasn't ready for that one, huh? Yeah, I gave it. I'm out here, man. Listen, man. We reviewing the music, and I'm giving my straight opinion. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. That's all it is opinion. That's what the show is about. But I gave it a 32% mid.
Okay,
Go ahead. It was alright. It wasn't crazy. And I'm one of the people that's been craving new Frank Ocean music. Like, I fuck with Frank Ocean. I feel like he doesn't release enough music as frequently, but I understand that as an artist. Like, I'd rather you not release frequently, but then when you do, I want the quality. I want that shit. And this wasn't really that crazy for me. It kind of, I don't know. It started off not great and got better for me at the end. It gave me that weird artsy Frank Ocean vibe, you know, that he's been kind of swinging with lately. This sounds like a demo. It sounds like a reference that he's recording to kind of go back and do later, like work out. I didn't really connect with the pen, like what he was saying so much. It kind of sounded like he was just jotting out thoughts, and it wasn't really like, I don't know. I couldn't really draw the concept of what he was saying. But the end, like come 2 minutes, 56 seconds, it gets crazy for me. It gets fire. He kind of goes off. He brings up the energy. He starts like, I forgot what he's saying. He's saying, you made me, no, like he started getting into his shit. Like he starts sounding like almost like a early 20s Mike on that shit. Like he starts like wailing a little bit, and he's giving you that emotion, and he really still ain't saying that. He just kind of saying phrases, like he yelling at somebody and he talking to him, and it sounds like he kind of like, you know when you dreaming and you just blurt out shit like blah, 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 blah. It's kind of sounding like he getting those off at the end, and he's saying shit, but it ain't really like, I don't know, it's different. Like it was more of a mood and more emotion throughout the whole song that he was trying to get off, as opposed to just, you know, what you could take from what he was actually saying with the lyrics. But I feel like from that point to the end would be like a fire interlude on an album or something. But the whole song as a whole was just like, like that early part was just, it sounded like he was just warming up for that whole part the whole time. Which I don't know. I'm craving music for you, and you throw me an interlude. I'm kind of like, nah, my G. Like, hold this mid real quick. 32%.
Dear April.
What did you think? Dear April. Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Let's get right to it.
Yeah.
So,
let me know.
This song I gave it a 31 mid. And let me break this down. I'm gonna tell you exactly why I did that.
Holy cow! Crazy.
This song is very on brand for him.
Shout out
and
to
let's
Freight.
not get it twisted.
Look at his face though. Like he looked tight. He looked tight.
Yeah, right. That's exactly how I felt
like
when the song came on.
He like mid.
So, yep, exactly. This song is very on brand for him. This is the same person. He is a brand. Don't get it twisted. Just because he comes across like this introvert, this very low key kind of demeanor, very introverted. He's built his whole self off of that. So it becomes a brand. It is a lot of big business. You go to his website, he is selling you $60 silk drawers. He is selling you $150 hoodies.
I couldn't find no bio though.
Brand. He is a brand. Because the bio is kind of
is what it is.
You already know
kind
of sells itself.
You know my
he
body.
Sells itself. You know what I'm saying? So this song is just basically an extension of that, which is why I found it a little disingenuous because he's not really singing about anything. He's
like,
not really singing about.
I thought I was bugging.
This is the type of song that could be about anything. Like April could be a person. It could be an emotion. It could be whatever you're feeling at that moment. So it's one of those that kind of slides in, it earworms in, and then it goes out, and you didn't even know it passed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that type of song is. And let's be honest, Frank Ocean has a limited singing range. I feel like this song could be a song that he should have gave to somebody like a Isaac Dunbar, who has a little bit more of a range, who could probably give you the emotion that he gave you on his own album. Because if you're gonna go for performance, Frank Ocean isn't really a performer.
No.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not giving me the pen, like
you're not giving me the pen.
What
you're not giving me performance. You're not giving me life. You're not giving me no kind of creativity. What are you here for? So the song is a fucking mid-grade to me. The only reason it's not is because the only reason it's not like a Reggie in my book is because there's still points to be given for just the musicality of it. The backing track is kind of nice.
And that last half.
And the last half of it does build. It is kind of nice.
He gets spicy at the end.
But it doesn't give you
enough.
It doesn't give you enough. I've heard, you know what a real pop ballad sound like. You know those like only piano led or string led. You know what those maybe guitars. You know what that sound like. Yeah. That's not what this is. This is a brand song.
It's an interlude. It's like a end. You know when people throw like extra beat on the end, like a different beat at the end of the song to kind of just let you vibe out. Like it's one of those. Like it's like a throw on type joint.
And he's selling you it on vinyl because he knows his audience, introverts, like vinyl. That's what it is. So, Frank Ocean, later for him on that. And there it is. Reggie Miller, Reginald James, all of them come to the office.
Oh, no, that's a mid. 31? 31% is a mid. I'm about to say, hold on, don't Reggie him out. You ain't Reggie him. It's 2 mids. We got a mid 30%, a mid 31%. It's a mid
31%. It's not a Reggie, but it could be a Reggie. But we're giving a mid. Because,
the whole damn show we spread out, and then this one we hit it damn near the same perfect grade, the exact same grade. It's interesting you mentioned like the lyrics and now how they could be about anything, and I think he did that intentionally because he knows how people appreciate his pen and how they kind of try to decipher, because he's a bit of an enigma. He's one of those artists, and we try to figure out what he's talking about and all that shit. And these lyrics seem like he know that, like he playing off of that a little bit, like on some troll type shit. Like, let me write these elusive ass lyrics that could be about anything and let these motherfuckers come up with a bunch of theories and shit. I'm like, nah, you ain't talking about nothing on this shit. Like, you ain't saying nothing. Like, I'm not even about to sit here and try to draw like a deep thought, meaning, metaphor. Like, nah, you ain't give me nothing on here. You gave me some energy towards the end, and that was about it. So the beat saved him, and that energy at the end when he started going in and them little phrases.
When we got people half his age out
here
him,
wilding, out performing, out penning, out producing.
Saying, like,
you gotta stop playing.
We
like,
we
not pulling no punches. Like we not
playing. We know he fuck with Kanye, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Don't let that get your head in the clouds twisted out here.
I don't care about your resume. I don't care about your resume. We care about this song that we reviewing today, right now.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all we talking about. But with that being said, it ain't really nothing we can say to take away from him either. So it is what it is. It's Frank Ocean. This is just our opinion of Dear April, A-side acoustic. And it got a mid. So what do y'all think? Go check it out. It's streaming on all platforms. You ain't got no excuses. You in the crib. What you doing? What you doing? What you got to do? What you got scheduled? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Go stream this music. Check it out, man. And we working on that Herbal Tea playlist that we going to have soon on Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify. I'm gassing it. I don't know, man. That's kind of the idea. You know what I'm saying?
But
if somebody out there can help us put that together and want us to make that happen, definitely hit us up and let us know, man. But hey, shout out to all the Q Plus R's we reviewed on today's episode, man. You guys are amazing. Keep on doing it. Keep working through the Rona. And we're going to keep reviewing it and checking it out and lending you our ears and our honest opinions on this music because we care. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, PZ?
You already know what it is.
Yeah, man. But, now that we got the music out the way, I want to find out what's going on in the neighborhoods and the streets, you know what I'm saying, on a ground level. You know what I'm saying? I only know there's only one person I could go to for that. I mean,
looking at him.
Our in-house, you know what I'm saying?
Street correspondent.
Hey, man, what we doing? What we doing in the streets, man? What's going on out here?
There's a couple of things going on in these streets. I'm going to go ahead and give these roses out right now to Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj. You know, they scored their first #1 Hot 100 Billboard song with Say So. And this is people might be surprised. This is Nicki Minaj's also first #1 record. She got close with Anaconda, and that was the highest she was until this point. So shout out to them.
Ladies is out here.
Say So is a bop. The ladies is out here for real. Because you know what I'm saying?
Who is that on the hook? Is that Doja singing?
That is Doja singing and rapping, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? She's doing it. She's killing it.
She's ill.
I love that record. I kind of fuck with her too. I fuck with the album Hot Pink. She is a Q Plus artist. Hot Pink is the album, and the album is fire. To me, I think I would have gave it a fire. She is bi. She has said this publicly, officially. So Doja Cat is Q Plus.
Shout out to her, man. Okay. And we got Nicki, who's an ally.
Who is an ally.
So we got the Q Plus and the ally combo #1. That's pretty big. That's dope.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely worthy of being on these streets.
You already. We got Cupcake. Cupcake just dropped visuals. She's a Q Plus ally. Stunning visuals for the singles Grilling Niggas and Lord Jesus, which we review.
Jesus. You know that's my jam.
She came through. I
can't wait to see that video. I know she got it. I ain't even see the video yet.
Like it's 2 separate videos, but you could watch, but they're kind of plugged together, so they just watch the whole thing, stream both.
That's hard
all the way through.
And she goes so off on that record. Ooh, she getting off. That song just get me hype when I hear it.
Grillin' Niggas was my favorite, not favorite song, but Grillin' Niggas was definitely my joint when it came out. It came out last fall. And it was the song that she dropped right after she kind of came out of her semi-retirement. That was the first joint she dropped. And in the video, she's actually grilling niggas. Like it's kind of literal. She's
like rotisserie.
She's on the grill.
Okay.
She got the spatula. She got the whole get up, the whole setup.
That's hard.
She got parts chopped up, and niggas is becoming burgers and hot dogs and all of that.
Now see, let the conspiracy theorists tell it. She signed up with those folks. And those one of the signs, they do the cannibalism and all of that. That's supposed to be. I don't know. That's what they say. I don't know how. That's what they say. But on to the next. I don't want to talk too much on that.
I mean, she basically eating niggas up on both tracks anyway. So and the Lord Jesus.
She literally and figuratively.
She really,
how that go.
Shout out the cupcake.
And you got the cupcakes on the Johnny Cupcake tea. I just saw. You know what I'm saying? We out here with the season.
You know, we're rapping.
You ain't even see my tea. You know what I'm saying? We out here.
Make hip hop great again. We out here plugging.
That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? All right, but back to the show.
Back to the Skreetz. All right. Well, let's plug. We got to plug our man. This is our OG, Swanee River.
Yes,
living
absolutely.
legend. Album's out April 24th.
That's my mom's birthday. That's crazy.
Oh, get out of here. Whoa.
That's wild.
Whoa.
That's wild. Shout out to the OG.
Okay, Taurus
that's
season.
How it be, the line. He probably I'm sure he ain't know. Like, that's kind of just how it goes.
I didn't even know,
wild.
nigga. That is wild. Yeah. Yep. That's when it's out. He got 10 bangers for you. Check that shit out. Support the man. He is out here giving you and serving it up. And he also teased that he might have a part 2 coming out later this year. So,
shit.
Shout out to Swanee.
Everybody dropping deluxes. That's hard.
This the time to do it. Niggas ain't got shit to do but come out and make shit happen. Let's do it. And also shout out to Damian Nova. We reviewed him in April as well. His movie release is out.
It's out?
When the show come out, it'll be out.
Yes.
It comes out May 20th. This is our May 21st show.
Okay. So. Shout out to Damian Nova.
You already. Shout out to him. Let's go back to the Skreetz for a minute and let's give a shout out to Costa Rica. Costa Rica is the first Central American country to legalize marriage equality.
Hey, that's dope.
I think that's a pretty big deal considering my family is from Honduras and it's conservative as hell. So, you know what I'm saying? It just, I can see why Costa Rica is a popular destination spot. So now that it's opened up to the LGBT community, I'm pretty sure
it's about to be litty.
It could be once this COVID shit happens.
Over, it's about to be crazy.
It's gonna be great. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Costa Rica. I hear about folks going to Costa Rica all the time.
It's about goddamn time.
Yes, sir. All right. Unfortunately, we have to report on this, but here's how we're gonna do this. First of all, we're talking about Little Richard. He passed away on May 9th. At the age of 87, but we're not going to get into his death. We're going to talk about the impact he had on basically rock music and culture as we know it. So I'm going to give you a couple of fun facts about Little Richard. Here we go. Of course, he's born 1932, Depression era, Jim Crow era, Macon, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? He was kicked out of home at age 13, allegedly, as he put in his book, for homophobia, because he was already giving you a little bit of life at that
Sounds
time.
About right.
He once did drag as a teen. Princess Lavon was his name, the Magnificent One. Also, his initial success of singles, everybody knows, Tutti Frutti, Long Tall Sally, were some of his breakout songs. After he turned to religion, he had his era for a couple of years, 1955, 1957, and then he turned to religion. He was kind of went into religion because he was scared of he was kind of afraid of the Sputnik and the space race, and I think Russia was the first to launch a satellite, so he kind of saw some conspiracy shit and kind of went religious.
You were seeing
in
the
that
signs.
moment. Yeah, he was seeing the signs, but he did come back out, and once he started touring again, you see some of the people that kind of already took from his style becoming popular, but that's when he started touring again. So you got people like Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones kind of taking a little bit of his style. You got Elton John, who openly admits he's influenced by Little Richard. Elton John, he played in his band that Little Richard toured with when he came back and started touring. And Jimi Hendrix was another musician that toured as a band member of Little Richard's band when he went out. And of course, we can thank Little Richard for kind of being progenitor of the flamboyant androgyny style that is carried on in artists like David Bowie, Prince. He is self-proclaimed king of rock and roll. I just say he is the king of rock and roll.
The archetype.
This is one of the most rock and roll things that I noted reading about his story and whatnot. He was touring with a band. I'm not necessarily sure. He's had a lot of bands in his career, but at one time he went to New Orleans to kind of meet with a record producer, and he was in a band. He abandoned the band, and the band went on and they got a replacement to be what Little Richard was to the band. The person that they got to replace him ended up being James Brown. And then it happened again, and it ended up being Otis Redding. So, you know what I'm saying? That goes to show you the lineage of everything that he had done since the point that he had become very, very popular. So if you didn't know, now you know, nigga.
I definitely didn't know. That's wild.
And I just wanted to say, you know, just speaking of his legacy, listen, Q Plus would not necessarily even be here without somebody like Little Richard being such a big and such a bold personality to be out there and giving you androgyny before it was even cool, before we even had a name for it. And mind you, this is the same time period that, remember when I said Bayard Rustin got arrested for having a threesome in a car? Same time, because that was 1957, I believe.
It wasn't just wilding like that.
This is the time period that they were, you know, gay men or people who were accused of being gay were being snatched up, and they were getting either jail sentences or maybe they were even killed. So, you know, he was brave enough to be become a rock legend or become a performer at the very least, kind of owning his sexuality without I guess even really admitting until
never, because I still don't really know of him outside of like a book or something like that. And speaking of, did we drop the ball? Because he's not on the top 50 Q plus.
He is not on the top 50.
Out. How did we miss that one? I don't think we considered him Q plus because it wasn't like clear cut evidence. I mean, we gotta redo it anyway. We're gonna have to do some restructuring.
We're gonna revamp it.
I mean, we're gonna do it every year.
Every year,
year's list is gonna be different.
But it's gonna be totally.
We got some revamp because I think a few people need to revisit and we might have to add a few people that
for sure. Yeah, we could definitely evolve that list. But I think as far as he's concerned, he goes on quoting himself as omnisexual. So he's just not, because you could say he's bisexual.
Is that the spectrum? No, omnisexual. Like what's that? Is that a cop out? What is that?
Something. It sounds like a cop out, but it's something he definitely coined because no one else really says it. It's but I mean, it makes sense.
You can imagine how hard it is for people born in that era to even come to terms. Like just come to terms with your own feelings and your own sexuality, let alone to be bold enough to be out in public. It's just it's layers to it, and everybody's not ready for layers. And
everybody's journey is not straightforward. It's not a straightforward journey for a lot of people because he went into religion, and then he would later admit that he was gay, and then he would later go back to his religious teachings or whatever he was doing at the time and kind of renounce it. So, you know, it's not a straightforward path for every single person. So we're not going to say that he isn't, but we're definitely going to say that we're going to give him his roses for what he had done in the pathway he set for artists like us to fully embrace it. You know what I'm saying?
And the seeds that were laid and watered and sprouted, legends.
Legend. So rest in paradise to Little Richard.
Absolutely.
And you know, as far as like androgyny and music, and what are your viewpoints and people, you know, kind of owning that part of their sexuality and in general as performers and the impact Little Richard has had?
I'm always so impressed and inspired and like in awe of people like that, because it's just like when you think about, you know, how flamboyant and just not give a fuck he was, and do you think about the time that he was that in, it wasn't easy to be as open and free as he was during those times. So it's just like that just adds to the amount of respect that you got to put on his name just cause, you know what I mean? And then the amount of people that he inspired and influenced to be themselves. It was just like, it was a chain effect, and you kind of have to see it. That's why today we talk about like how important the representation of like Black gay love and Q plus and LGBT people in film and music. Like that representation is important because you can't, sometimes you got to see it for it to click inside of you. And, you know, you realize like, oh shit, like I can be this, or I can, like, I'm not the only one that feel this way, or it's not fucked up for me to, you know, have these feelings or these urges or these thoughts. And he just made it cool to kind of just be like, fuck the system, fuck you. If you ain't fucking with me, it is what it is. But he made it look cool. And he was to the point where he had like hood dudes and gangsters and like people that was into like hard rock and grunge. Like they all respected him. Like everybody kind of respected Little Richard for what it was. And like, I don't know, you kind of can't, you don't get too many people, like he's like a generational talent. Like you don't get too many figures like that all of the time. Like that's a once in a blue type thing. But like those figures like that, I'm always impressed. And that kind of goes back to what I say as far as people like leaning into that and just, you know, leaning into what makes you you and special and different, because you never know what kind of impact that's going to have on the rest of the world. So definitely RIP and shout out to Little Richard, man. He definitely deserves his roses. He lived a long, healthy life, man. 87, shit.
Yo, he went through a lot. Like he went through a lot. Went through drug abuse and then came back out of it, became a preacher or ordained preacher. You know what I'm saying? So you think of Prince, you think of Andre 3000, you think of Big Frida, you think of artists like that.
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, all of them, you know, kind of owe a debt to Little Richard. So yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Now we're gonna get into this the Circle, New York City. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna give you a little bit
another
of a
episode.
rundown
I thought we already
episode 4. Episode 4 has came out over the weekend.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a little bit more going on. So we're going to just give you a little bit of a recap. Go support the boy Nunu and support the Circle NYC.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing, award-winning
shout out B-Hood
docuseries. And shout out to Billy Hood being on the show. And shout out to all the cast members, even the ones that don't like us.
Oh my God, here you go.
So we're gonna get into episode 4. You know, a couple of things happened. You got Dwight. Dwight, I think by far might be the most interesting character on the show. He is so animated, but come to find out, that's Melly B's friend. And you know, we gotta get a little bit of hint that, you know, Melly B might be coming back to the city and meeting up with these folks. And let's just get into that. Melly B kind of has a lot of, let's say, tentacles, a lot of relationships with different people on the show, and it kind of goes back. And I'm surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised, but you know, he kind of has a whole lot.
I don't know why you. I'm not why you surprised.
I was quite surprised how many friends or whatnot that he has on the show. The highlight of the episode for me was him going to see T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison, the trans performer. And him kind of getting red.
That was an interesting scene. Like she was not here for him.
Not here for your little dog.
And her girl wasn't either. Like, did you saw the tension? Like she seemed like she was about to snap. What's her name? I forget her name, but she's spicy. She is spicy, and she was not having it when he brought up. He brought up if somebody had their scars. Who was it? Delicious. She said Delicious had came through and visited the day before, and his first comment was like, "Does she still have her scars or something like that?" And that rubbed her the wrong way. She was like,
"Yeah, see, that's the mouth. That's that mouth." See, but I just wanted to say, you know, to that scene, if you sleep with dogs, you wake up with fleas, and that is why. You got T.S. Madison, who proudly said, that's why this house is clean. because ain't no fucking dogs running around in here. And I died a lot laughing at that part because I was like,
yeah, that was interesting.
People kind of dig themselves into whatever hole, but that was it. And that's the circle. Oh, the PSA. Let's talk the PSA. I was at the PSA. Got a little cameo in there. Whatever.
Saw that.
I mean,
saw
I was
that.
shocked.
I was gonna say, like, I know he's not about to breathe. Like, that was it. Like, what you mean that was it? Like, that was not it.
I forgot that they even had that. Not that I did it, but I didn't even think they would have that in there.
That's how the show goes, though. Like, you kind of forget a lot of the stuff that you filmed.
Yeah. But I do remember that scene. I have a couple of pictures when I was sitting with Aoki and Billy was there. Billy being late to everything.
Billy was wild late.
Billy would be late to his own birth if he wasn't already being born. I'm just like, he's whatever. But shout out to HUD. We just fucking with him because we can. But yeah, the PSA, you know what I'm saying? It was Eazy-E and it was cute. It was a moment.
Yeah, y'all kind of came together with it. I wasn't sure what y'all was gonna come up with. It was all right.
I wasn't sure either because I didn't even know we were doing the PSA when I got there. I thought it was gonna be a scene for the circle. I think that's why I was really there. But you always get half of a detail or whatever whatever detail gonna get you to come through. That's what you're gonna get. That is exactly.
But you're not gonna get the full story ever.
No, because I mean, and I'm newly walking around with my brace, so I was ready to come out anyway. You was ready. I was so ready. So that was kind of the thing. I had hair did on fleek and all that shit. So I was like, whatever happens here is what's like, gonna happen.
Where? What time? All right.
Right. I'm there. And at Brick, one of my least favorite places because we always be there. So
shout out to Brick, man. They do good work. But, we be there so much.
We do be there so much. But that's what was going on in these streets.
Okay.
A little bit of everything for y'all.
What do you think of the show so far? You liking it? You still captivated? You still following it? Nah.
I'm following it. I'm following it because we're doing it here, and I want to give the man the props that he deserves for putting that shit together and still being able to do this.
Yeah.
We didn't even know we was gonna get a season 4, to be honest with you. Like he said
last season was the last season. So
right.
But he says that at the end of every season, I feel like.
So, I'm following the show, but I'm not necessarily that impressed anymore by it. I feel like I've seen a lot of it before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So. Yeah. Same setups, same kind of just different figures almost. I mean, I like it though. It's different. I'm kind of waiting for it to turn this corner. It usually gets better the further along. Like it kind of like I'm just waiting for the spicy shit. That's what everybody waiting for anyway. Like ain't really much else going on.
It looks like the spicy shit about to come in.
That's what I'm saying. Episode. Like I want to see. That's that dynamic gonna be interesting. So that should be fun to watch. But shout out to the circle, man, and all of the castmates.
All the cast members, all of them.
Yeah. Because it ain't easy doing this shit at all. I mean, definitely coming from somebody that filmed, the whole episode. It's a lot of work. So shout out to the cast members and everybody.
For sure.
Representing for the Q+ community.
That's what we doing. That's where we at in these streets. Yeah. That's where we at.
Okay. What else going on in the streets? That's it? That's all we got?
That's what we got for the time being. I mean, you never know.
COVID got it kind of quiet out here, man. It ain't too much going on, man. But hey, we're gonna bring you what we could bring you.
We're gonna see what happens next month.
It is what it is. But when the streets is quiet and low and you tucked in the crib, you know what you gotta have, what you gotta do, what you gotta get, man.
They might lift these restrictions up next month, so it might be a different story. I have a feeling it will be.
And we'll see what happens, man. I ain't really worrying about too much about what they're doing. I'll believe it when I see it, and I ain't even gonna believe it then. I'm gonna wait 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna see what happens after that because I'm not trying to be no test dummy. Like we not doing that. That's what we're not gonna do.
We're not doing that.
Once they open up the barbershops, I'm gonna wait like a month. And then I'm gonna go get a cut. So that's what we doing. But I'm on a delayed schedule. So
listen, first chance I get, I'm getting a cut. But we're not even playing. I'm not playing.
Go ahead.
First one, and I'll let you know what happens after that.
I'm cool with the shag. We be out here. But you know what hasn't stopped through the road, which I'm so thankful for.
Oh. What has not stopped? What has not stopped? What we got?
Well, first of all, we need to head over to the smoking section because what I got to talk about is exactly perfect and fitting for the smoking section. So we're gonna head over to the smoking section. Actually, man, you know what? Go ahead and get this shit cracking right now. What's going on, man? What's up with everybody? Y'all out there, y'all good? Y'all got y'all supplies, man. I hope y'all ready because you know we need it in these days and time. Look at you, you're a pro now. You a vet, B. You got your piece, like you already know how to edit. You know how to pack it now. You out here.
Son.
I remember when you was like a rookie. You was just a young scrapper.
I know, man.
First got
God,
your piece.
dang.
Now you out here and you
grow out here. We grow up so fast. Listen, and I even got my refill already set up. It's already here. I don't even gotta fucking worry about it later.
The gunmetal grinder holding you down, treating you good.
Well, hey, man. So good.
While we at it, let's just have another smoking session in the smoking section. Yes. Well, we kind of got it right. We said it right that time, but it wasn't synchronized. So we get in there. Not bad. All right. But you know what time it is when we get in here. It's your boy Sherlock Tone.
Sherlock Tone, we're doing it. Merch popping.
Merch popping
next in June.
I put on my hat because we had a question. You know what I'm saying? Somebody hit me up and they asked me, they're like, yo, I'm not really a heavy smoker. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm trying to smoke. I'm trying to cop. Where do I go? Who do I see? What do I do? So the question of the day is, where do you buy trees? Like, where do you cop from? Who do you cop from? You got a plug? Like, what's your source? What's going on? Well, luckily today, we're going to get into it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So first, when you're talking about trees, especially a first-time buyer, you want to know what you're getting. All right. We all know it's not necessarily legal everywhere. Some places like Cali, you can just walk into a dispensary and you're good to go. You got all types of varieties, all types of displays, all types of volumes. You could just get it how you want. All different, shade. You could get pins, you could get your herbs, you could get whatever you need. You could get it from the dispensary.
Life goals, Cali. Life goals.
Yeah, it's crazy. But what if you not by the dispensary, or you don't have a dispensary near you, or you're not in a state where it's legal yet to get it from a dispensary? Then you got to get it from the plug. You know what I'm saying? So everybody kind of got a plug. If you smoke, you got to have a plug. Most, veteran smokers got 2 or 3 plugs. You know what I'm saying? Because just in case one of your plugs is out of reach, you don't want to be asked out. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have a backup. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
So one of the first things you gotta realize and come to terms with when you ordering trees is the volume. So how does it come? You can't just be like, all right, I want some weed. It's like, all right, so how much weed you want? Like, you know what I'm saying? What do you need? And you don't want to be sounding like a novice out there because you don't want to get got. So you got to know the lingo. You got to know what you're talking about. As an individual smoker, you're not going to cop more than an ounce. An ounce is a lot of weed for one person. So an O is probably the max you're going to cop, like just on some solo dolo. Unless you're moving it, you ain't getting more than an ounce. And that's a lot of trees. And that comes down to 28 grams. So you get an O. Some people call it an ounce, an O, a zip.
An
onion. 28 grams. So that's what it breaks down to. So we're going to go from the top and bring it down to the bottom. So what is a gram? A gram is pretty much what it is. It's a unit of measurement. That's kind of the smallest amount of weed you could get. So if you want to cop a gram, that's probably going to get you like a couple of bowl packs, maybe three or 4 bowl packs. You might get an L or 2. So that's all you're going to get with about a gram. That's about how much weed we talking about. So that's kind of the unit it breaks down to, and then you could go up so much as an ounce. So that's all we're going to be doing with today. So a gram, go ahead. You had a question.
Okay. Yeah. When you're looking at a gram, like, can you give like an idea of what that looks like?
How much a gram looks like?
Yeah.
If you ever seen like a nickel bag or like those small baggies that you see like other stuff come in, like you might see an 8 ball or something like that come in at other different narcotics, but it's not a lot. It's a small, I would say like 1 inch by 1 inch size. You could fill up with that. It's like a little nugget, like a couple of nuggets maybe, not much. You know what I'm saying? So if you're thinking like a nice big nug, that's probably even more than a gram. That's probably like 1.5. But if you got like a decent sized nug, that's probably like a gram. So about a nugget worth, you know what I'm saying, is a gram. But so when you're looking at it, you want to make sure you're looking for certain things. Like when you're looking at it, you want to look for the color. You want to look for like the crystals and all that stuff. Like it's a certain look you want to go for that's going to let you know the quality of the weeds you have and the type of it. Like, is it some dirt? Is it some Reggie? Like, you definitely don't want to see a lot of sticks. You don't want to, it shouldn't look dry. It shouldn't look like oregano. It shouldn't look like grass. Like, you'll be able to distinguish.
It should definitely not look like grass. And talking from experience, if they're selling you grass, they will definitely give it to you for the super fucking low.
Yes.
And make you think that you're getting a lot. And that is how I got. I thought I was getting an eighth for $40. And it was an eighth of your best crab grass.
Yeah. See, that's how it goes. So a gram, you want to be careful. With trees, it's like anything else in life. You want to pay, if you're going to pay for the cheap shit, it's going to be cheap. Like, cheap is cheap, period. So if you want to pay your lowest price for the trees, you're not going to get the best trees. A decent gram is going to cost you about $15. $15, that's like a mid gram. You get a $5 gram, like a nickel bag, you probably ain't getting, you either going to get a little bit of weed that's not actually going to be a gram and it's going to be some fire, or you're going to get a bunch of dirt. So you want to kind of pick your poison. If you want some mid, you're going to pay a decent price for it. If you want a top of the line gram, you're going to pay like $20, $25. You don't want to be paying more than that for a gram. What you was going to say?
They used to call a dub is like a gram.
Yeah, a dub. Right? So you got a nick, you got a dime, you got a dub. A dub is like a little turkey bag. It's a fat. It's a decent amount of trees. Like I said, you should be able to get like 2 blunts out of a gram, 2 nice blunts. If you roll in joints is a little bit smaller, you might get 3 joints. And then you're talking about a bowl pack, you might could pack the bowl like 4 or 5 times with a gram.
I pack my bowl. I probably pack the whole thing. I try to pack the whole thing in a gram of weed in a bowl. I pack.
Well, yeah, it depends on the size of the bowl, because some bowls are smaller, some bowls are bigger. So you could get a whole gram in a bowl, but some bowls you could kind of split that up. You could get a few bowl packs, but that's about all you're gonna get. So you're not about to get there and have a crazy session with a gram. If you're a smoker, a gram, you not.
It's gonna piss you off.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, come on, man, what are we doing with this? Like, right. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, I hope you got your own. That type of shit.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're not buying that for the party. So, like I said, a gram gonna range between like $5 and $20. If you paying more than $25, you either copping moon rocks or you getting got. And then the next size is an eighth. So you go to an eighth, because everything from the gram broken down after that is like an eighth of an ounce. So you got an eighth of an ounce, you got a quarter of an ounce, you got a half ounce, and then you got the ounce. So the eighth, there you go. That's an eighth right there. So usually a good eighth, you're going to pay like $45, $50 for it. That's like in the average, the median range. $60, that's like high end. If you're paying more than $60, you're kind of doing a lot for an eighth. Yeah. My eighths, I usually pay like $50 for my eighths. For a cheap eighth, you could probably get an eighth for like $25 somewhere, but I wouldn't expect it to be no fire. And then you get your quarters. You get a quarter, and then it's the same range. It kind of goes up gradually. Like, the bigger you buy, the more bang you get for your buck, pretty much. So it's like buying wholesale. You want to get you're going to get more trees than if you would just get, if you would buy like 28 individual grams, that would equal more than if you just bought which is the same weight, but you're just buying in bulk. So that's how you got to look at it. So it's depending on how much you want to smoke, you want to save accordingly. Because if you only smoking like a little bit at a time or a decent amount, you probably want an eighth, couple eighths. That's cool. But if you were like a heavy smoker, or you smoking with a bunch of people, you want to get a O because you're going to go through a lot more weed more frequently. So it all depends on what you want. But that's the ranges you should look for when you copying trees. That's kind of all you could really base it on, especially once you start copying. They got delivery services out there. You got the people at the bodegas. You got the dudes just walking on the street like, y'all got the sour. You walking down the street in New York, you good for having somebody just walk by like, yo, I got that haze, got that sour. Like, the neighborhood plugs, you got those. And those always have their risk because they could sell you. You don't know the quality of it. So one of the key hints you could do as a first-time buyer, just buy a little bit. You don't want to cop nothing crazy. Get a couple grams. See how it is. Test it out. You don't want to go to somebody you buying for the first time. You don't know how their product is, and you copping
yeah,
it's a lot of trees. If for some reason you don't like the trees, you don't want to do that. So when you first copping, get a little bit. Then once you get to know the plug, you good. You go from there. You get your flavors or whatever.
You could also do a referral thing, right? Like you did for me. If you have experience smoking with somebody that you trust, that and they give you, they're able to pass you a phone number or whatever the case may be.
Great point.
Try it through that other person and see if you like that quality, and then that'll set the bar for you as far as like what you're getting.
It's a great point. That's the number one way to do it. Like that's what I would do. I would go to somebody who I know smoke, be like, yo, where you cop from? Put me on, I need a plug, blah, 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 and go from there. That's like your best bet. You're always gonna get a referral because your homie going, they're gonna send you in the right direction. So that's definitely a great point. That's the number one piece of advice I would give to like a first time buyer. But then some of the things you want to look for or avoid when you're looking at the trees, you want to look for like, I know people heard of like the crystals. So if you see like those crystals, it's like a liquidy, it's not liquidy, but it looks like a kind of hard crystallized gel that's on the flower and the bud. And that actually is called trichome or trichome, I think it's called. But that's like a sign of good, high quality trees. So you want to see those crystals, you want to observe it. When you see that, you're dealing with the real. Now, what you don't want to see is like a powdery, like a baby powder substance. Like that's kind of what you don't want to see because that's mold. So that's scary. You want to look out for that. That's not what's up. And then if you see like little black specks or whatever that looks like the shower mold you see like in the, you want to watch out for that too because that is a thing.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I haven't seen it before in real life, but if you Google it and look up pictures, you don't want to get that in your trees because that could actually be harmful and not good. But yeah, that's what you want to look out for. And then as far as the smell, you want to get a whiff of it, check it out. It should smell like either like citrus or like skunk or like flowers, like floral, or maybe like diesel fuel or something like that. But if it's smelling like wet grass, like fresh cut grass, that's not a good look. If it's like musty or like dank, that's kind of, you want to be wary of that because that could be a sign of like some bad trees. And then of course, if it's moldy, you don't want to fuck with that at all.
Do not get no moldy weed, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do that.
Yeah, but that's it, man. You got to know like how much you want and then just know what to look for so you're not just buying like a pack of oregano or something. You know what I'm saying? And then you should be good to go. Like, it's not too many people out here. I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it don't happen that often, but you don't want to be that dude that be that green. Like, it ain't too many people out here selling oregano, but you just don't want to be. You want to be careful. You want to, make sure you're getting it, especially if you're not getting it from a dispensary. If you going into the dispensary, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like, that's grade A, A1, everything's on top. I'm talking about you getting it from the homie at the bodega or the plug or the delivery service that you're not, sure with or have a relationship yet. You just want to be careful and check it and not doing nothing crazy because you are smoking this at the end of the day. You you consuming it, you inhaling it. You want to make sure you ain't putting nothing crazy in your body. You know what I'm saying? But those are your options. And you got the plug or the bodega or you got the dispensary, which is pretty much like the supermarket versus the bodega or Costco's versus the corner. You know what I'm saying? So those are your two options. And you got certain joints that deliver door to door, or you got certain spots where you got to go pick it up and go get that. So the choice is yours. There you have it. That's how you cop trees. 101.
Also, if you do happen to, find somebody, like you got a referral, make sure, there's different levels of discretion. Like, it just depends on what the deal is comfortable with or what you're comfortable with. But they'll usually tell you where they're meeting you. if that's the case. When you're trying to go, it might be off a side street or whatever the case may be, or if you're meeting them, like on foot.
Yeah.
So just be wary of that, and because that might be a little bit, you might not be used to that. You might not know what that's all about, but that's obviously because nobody wants to get caught doing that shit in some places.
Yeah, of course, use discretion. At the end of the day, you're dealing with an illegal substance federally, regardless of what state you're in. So you want to, be discreet with your dealings, and don't be a doof out there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because the plugs don't like that. The plugs don't like that. So keep it low, keep it discreet, and man, have fun, man, and tell a friend to tell a friend. When you find a good plug, man, put the people on. Let the people know. Don't keep that tucked. You know what I'm saying? Don't be greedy with the plugs. And that's it, man. That's all we got in the smoking section, man. What do you think? Did you learn anything? Was it informative? Did you hear anything that you didn't know? Any fun facts that you was like, oh shit, I didn't really know that. That makes sense. Because I kind of like it. I have to sharpen my measurement sometimes. Like I forget how many grams is in an O sometimes. I'm like, damn, like what does it break down? But after a while, you like, I know what it looks like more so than I remember. Like,
something, the fractions, that's kind of what threw me off the first time anyway, because I actually thought that because you saying an eighth, okay, well then if I want a 16th, or not like that, but if I want something close to that, or if they sold it specifically on that system, I didn't know that that's just how it comes. That's just how they pack it. Yeah. It's only a few. Like it's not
like
specific.
Small, medium, large. It's just,
you don't get no custom shit like that.
Nah, we got sizes. What size you want, nigga?
Right.
Like, small, medium, large, XXL. That's it.
Exactly. So you get the dub, or you get an eighth, or you get a quarter, or you get a half, or you get a whole.
You get the O for the low. You know what I'm saying? You get the O for the low. You out here.
That's it.
That's my new move, man. I like trying to get the O, because if you go half with the O, you know what I'm saying, you and your man, y'all both get a half, and then y'all both come off with the discount. You know what I'm saying?
I just graduated to the quarter. I just graduated.
Man. It's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? Levels. You gotta take your time. It's patient. Be patient. It's all good.
I was definitely ready. Man. I was so ready.
And there you have it, man. That's how we do it in the smoking section, man. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna end it like we always like to end it. You know what I'm saying? Peasy got the piece. I got the roach. Woo! I don't went in on this. And we out, man. We gonna end it on a high note. Ooh, I can't hit that. I'm out.
From coast to coast with this dope, this hope, with this dope, this hope. Sheesh. Wait, is it lit?